Please forgive the upcoming sass and snark. Today, I woke up and chose So this is the first video I'm filming with the new laptop, and something really interesting that's going on is that even with the old microphone, it would still skip words. So I've switched to the blue snowball now, and it still seems to have that same issue. So if there's any words that are missed or something, I have no idea what's going on. But anyway, hi and welcome to or back to my channel. I'm Kit, your friendly feminist cat lady spinster, and today I'm giving into my toxic female need for drama and attention and having a look back at some of the awesome comments I've received this year. Grab a beverage and get cozy. We'll laugh, we'll cry. It'll be a good time. And for a disclaimer, even though the people that need to hear it never listen, I do not hate men, I do not hate women. No one is a monolith. When I say you, men, or women, the odds are high I'm not actually talking about you unless you're the one who left the comment in question. You agree with it. That being said, let's start off light and give everyone a chance to escape before we get to the real fun stuff.
If women working less, staying at home with babies and kids with sandwiches and cookies don't make women happy, then what makes them happy? At least the 22 convention is trying to make women happy. Where is the video of you women making other women happy? Where?
So first off, the 22 convention is not about making women happy. And second, you cannot say X will make women happy because there is no one thing that will make every woman happy. Again, women are not a monolith. I'm sorry there's no shortcuts, but women, just like men, are complex creatures who have their own likes and dislikes, wants and desires, fears and hard no's. And if someone says they can tell you the secrets of the female mind or they know how to make you happy, they're lying. And if they want money for this knowledge, they're a scammer.
Women have a role to play, and it's not in the workplace.
This is just some white nationalist shit. This is what we call a dog whistle. They don't outright say what they mean, so anyone scrolling by will get it, but anyone who's in the know will understand their meaning.
Women provide the evidence for all the red pill facts. They upload content to social media about men, dating, sex, feminism, validation, partying, getting drunk, and more. These are non-red pill women. Red pill creators then take your pics, videos, and comments and use them as evidence that all the red pill facts are 100% true. You don't even know it. How can women say they don't agree with the red pill when they provide all the proof?
Coming to a conclusion and then looking for evidence that validates it and disregarding stuff that doesn't is not how finding proof works. Also, people curate their social media accounts. You see what they want you to see, especially if they're trying to monetize it, and then you make a ton of assumptions and call it evidence. Also, this is all concentrated on a very small subset of women. Instagram models or wannabe Instagram models, typically in their early to mid-20s, living in a city who like to party. There's no shame in any of that, you're only young once, but to say all women live that way or want to live that way is silly and reductive. So no, women don't provide all red pill facts. You just focus on a small group of women and take them to represent all women. And I have a theory that you do it because those are the women that you find attractive. I've decided to go ahead and talk about the YogiOabs situation from earlier this year because I still can't believe the gall. Last year, I posted my commentary on an interview YogiOabs did with Elliot Hulse, and in January of this year, I posted a deep dive into YogiOabs' general shadiness. Sometime after that, I can't say he had a change of heart, but he had a change of business plans and decided to abandon his misogyny ministry. One day, I noticed that he had been viewing my Instagram stories, and when I posted, he was right there. And I was just like, I do not want this man looking at my cats. Eventually, he left a comment telling me to check my DMs, and for some reason, though my email is on my channel, he decided to send me a DM. Did he have a change of heart? Realize misogyny is not the way? Let's read.
Hi. I hope you are well. I request that you remove 2 videos you published about me from YouTube and any other platforms where you decided to use my full name. By doing so, you have violated my privacy. I have copied and pasted an excerpt of YouTube's guidelines below for you to review. In the process of initiating a privacy complaint through YouTube, the first step is to contact the creator, which is my intention here. The 2 videos I would like immediately removed are Abhishek Saha and Elliot Hulse, Men Want Virgin Wives, and We Need to Talk About Abhishek Saha. I fully support healthy debate, and it is why I enjoyed creating content on YouTube. If I was still making content, I may even be up for a debate with you. However, I don't mean harm to anyone by sharing my views. To the contrary, my female audience has repeatedly told me how helpful my videos have been to them personally.
So for one, I'm not going to debate my right to exist as an autonomous being. And for two, I don't care what he intended. What did he think would be the outcome of saying marital rape doesn't exist? That women should be submissive when he sold t-shirts saying, repeal the 19th. And clearly, though he's going in a different direction, his views haven't changed. I guess misogyny wasn't as profitable as he thought it would be.
When you decide to use my real name in a critique, there are potential consequences that can be personally harmful to me, and this is why privacy laws exist. I hope you will consider that for the point of debate, trying to harm someone personally, rather than just critique their views, does not strengthen your own points and does not make you feel better about your disagreements with that person's views. If you decide not to remove these videos, I will proceed with the formal privacy complaint process through YouTube and any other means necessary. I request that the video be entirely deleted rather than have my pen name used. I will add that as a resident of the European Union, I have the right to have content about me removed from the internet under GDPR laws. It's called right to erasure. Thank you for understanding.
My point, which is, by the way, that women are people, is not hurt by using his real name. Why did he stop using it? If he stands by what he said, where's the courage of his convictions? He went on to give an excerpt from the privacy law, and I didn't bother responding. If he had approached it differently, maybe apologized, said he changed, I might have considered it. But instead I was just amazed by the nerve he had to pretend that he was just an innocent private citizen, nothing to see here. He did go ahead and file those privacy claims, and it didn't sit right with me, the fact that he could just peddle that rot for years and then have it all removed like it was nothing. And so I added every video and article about him I could find, with those including his real name at the top, to the description boxes of those two videos and let YouTube decide. And the videos are still up. You are actively more divisive than Candace Owens herself. She who is far from being a transphobe, and she is especially not racist. So you have no place to speak in this, unfortunately. Also, you are a groomer if you support LGBTQIA because they are actively passing a certain curriculum that introduces the topic of masturbation to K through 12 graders. This is proven to brainwash children, and when they get sexual at such a young age, they're vulnerable to becoming a groomer themselves when they reach adulthood. 1. Citation needed. 2. Even if this were true, I doubt the same curriculum would be taught to kindergarten through 12th grade. 3. I would be willing. Most high schoolers already know what masturbation is. 4. At no point have I ever said or even hinted that Candace Owens is racist. Why would I when I don't think she is? 5. This is what comes of conservative rhetoric conflating grooming with being part of the LGBTQ+ community. Grooming is when an adult purposely builds a relationship with a child to exploit and abuse them. It is not a gay person existing near children. But now conservatives believe, or pretend to believe, that the latter is grooming, and that is wrong and so dangerous. There are children at risk in this country and around the world, and children who are actively being harmed. And this does not help them. But yep, I'm more divisive than Candace Owens.
Are you so dense that you can't see the debauchery that kids are being inducted into? Or are you one of those caring, loving, racist liberals that just want to attack a black woman for speaking up? Your body language and microexpressions when looking at Candace says it all. Your pathetic attempt at virtue signaling has been thwarted because you don't know what to do when you see a free black woman.
Isn't virtue signaling when you claim to believe something you don't actually believe in to get points for being a good person without actually doing the work? Anyway, I'm not sure what microexpressions this person thought they saw, since I wasn't looking at Candace at any point throughout this video. I'm not the best at off-the-cuff speaking, so I script my videos. And when I record, I'm looking at my tablet or my webcam. And then this person came back to comment on a discussion of Candace Owens calling Cardi B heterosexual, though she's bi. She calls Cardi B heterosexual? Isn't Cardi B bisexual? Oh wait. Candace probably doesn't believe that exists. Cardi B is bisexual, but she's married to a man and has 2 kids, so I guess she defaults to heterosexual in Candace's extremely narrow world.
Zip your mouth, you dirty, racist liberal operative. I watched your video and it became evident that this was a pathetic attempt at gaslighting. Your only mission here was to insinuate that she's clout chasing. Irony is a bitch.
I doubt they actually watched the video if that was their takeaway from it. I'm not sure where they got gaslighting from, unless disagreeing with someone is now gaslighting, but with over 1 million I don't think Candace needs to clout chase. Also, still not a liberal, though people do enjoy calling me one. My Better Bachelor video was posted in 2021, but people still keep leaving comments, and I'm really baffled as to why they keep thinking I'm giving dating advice. Unless they've just watched so many dating gurus and other nonsense that they assume everyone who talks about anything even vaguely related to dating must be dispensing advice. But anyway, this guy responded to this comment.
Yes, let's hear some dating advice from the lonely feminist cat lady.
Single doesn't equal lonely. Also didn't offer dating advice, but sure.
Single doesn't equal lonely. So you are part of the MGTOW movement as well, except playing on Team Orange rather than Team Green then. Interesting.
And I'm really confused. What is Team Orange? What is Team Green? Why are there different teams? Why does saying being single doesn't mean being lonely make me MGTOW? Also, I'm not a man? Why do we have to label everything? Why can't I just be single? Anyway, the real comment by this person I wanted to focus on is this one, which we are going to take point by point.
This video does nothing whatsoever to justify its original purpose. Okay, so having unreasonable requests on a dating profile is actually a red flag rather than simply unreasonable? Fine. All you are proving is that it is even worse in the myriad of female dating profiles that do the same thing.
Has it occurred to this person that maybe this video isn't for him? If they came across a woman's dating profile specifying peck and glute, are men told, sure, that's a bit much, but give her a chance. She could be really nice. Maybe she just doesn't know how that comes off. I have heard that, or some variation, too many times to count, and it's always been to my detriment when I followed that advice.
I am not defending BB as a whole. He could do himself a huge favor by becoming less cynical and more open, at least in his personal life. This probably helps his marketing. But it seems to me that this commentary is putting you in exactly the same bucket as he is, except from the opposite perspective.
You have no idea what Better Bachelor does in his personal life. You know what he wants you to know. And no, we are not in the same bucket. There is a big difference between putting your preferences or requests or whatever in your dating profile and putting red flags in. Maybe a man reading that profile feels it's no big deal, but I see red flags. And the thing that concerns me is that when I was in his requested age range, I wouldn't have seen them. And I would have been swayed by the, he could be nice, just give him a chance. And that is why I made that video. Maybe it's silly to a man, but he's also not looking to date men. But if a woman is looking to date a man, why would she be looking at other women's dating profiles?
This is exactly the problem. You need to do this to develop expertise, which is exactly what is needed before you make videos like this one.
I have expertise. I've dated, online and off, with and without dating apps. I don't need to start reading women's dating profiles to know what is and isn't normal, and to say that I do is as absurd as Better Bachelor's attempt to equate this with that, or even that. Back in June, I did a live stream looking at the red pill wife that had gone viral. About an hour in, I suddenly had an influx of watchers. Little did I know that the wife in question, though taking every opportunity to publicize her viral moment, took great offense to my live stream and posted about it on her channel, as well as her Instagram and Twitter, after blocking me on the latter two, which was extremely strange, seeing as how I never contacted her on either platform. For that matter, whenever contact was initiated, it wasn't by me. I can only assume she just didn't want me to see it for whatever reason, but it did confirm that my suspicions about her were right. And as if it's not bad enough that she's yet another woman bad channel, she decided to prime her audience by telling them I'm demonizing her marriage and submission, which I think is how I end up with most of these comments. They don't care what I'm saying, women are automatically bad, and if the woman in question is not saying what they want to hear, they won't listen. And if they do accidentally hear something, they'll assign an entirely different meaning to it. Anyway, let's look at some comments. Why do people have an issue with submissive women? American women have the lowest happiness levels ever reported in recorded history. This unhappy block is mostly made up of strong, independent women. Very few married, submissive housewives, stay-at-home mothers were so unhappy. I don't care if a woman wants to be submissive. I do, however, have a problem with her claim the way to true happiness and fulfillment for a woman. Why are all feminists ugly? Serious question. It's obvious she comes from a place of pure jealousy. Please do tell me what I'm supposed to be jealous of. As a man who grew up in Portland, a very woke and inclusive and weird city, I spent the first 18 years of my dating career, 12 to 30, dating strong, independent women who wanted an equal partner. They all acted like my male friends, very boisterous and argumentative, and they always tried to initiate open relationships as soon as they met an attractive rich guy at work. I'll take a faithful small-town girl who is feminine and submissive and makes $0 over the boss babes who make six figures but don't act like ladies and don't respect their men. 12 seems young to begin dating in earnest, but okay. Has it occurred to him that perhaps those boisterous and argumentative girlfriends weren't acting like his male friends, but were being themselves? Why were you dating them if you didn't like them? As a rural Midwesterner, though, it does amuse me when people talk about how feminine and submissive small-town girls are. Also, faithful. Polyamory is more accepted in cities, but I'm guessing he's never heard of key parties. Have any of these men actually been to a small American town? They love drama. Feminism has misled you. You can't honestly tell me that women like you are happier than women 70 or 80 years ago with loving people for families. It's sad, really. If women in the 1950s were so happy, what was up with all the alcohol in mill towns? I would also ask why women were so eager for a different life if they were so happy back then, but I'm sure the answer would be something about how women are easily led astray and can't be trusted with themselves. Also, I have a family, and what are women like me? Single? I can assure everyone watching that I'm not single because of feminism. Fun fact, I believed men and women were equal long before I became a feminist. Feminism has, however, helped me break down some weird societal conditioning. Ain't it funny? Feminists are most of the time chicks you would never wanna. They fail at biology. You question a man that would want a submissive female. Well, that's what is attractive and natural to us. Don't fight Mother Nature. If you live in a house with a man and someone breaks in, who should go down and check? We are not equal, we will never be, nor should we be. It's funny, for nearly every comment lamenting how feminism has led women astray and will make them miserable, there's one talking about how feminists are ugly and are not equal. And no, I don't think they're misunderstanding equality. They truly believe that men are superior to women. Keeping on the woman bad theme, I did 2 videos on strong, successful male this year. The boundaries one was mostly overlooked, but purposely misrepresenting women got a lot of attention. I suspect most didn't bother watching the video and thought I was just talking about his channel as a whole. There were a lot of comments, they'll be scrolling by throughout the section, but there were a special few that I wanted to focus on. Please keep in mind this is all my opinion and I don't know these people. I only have what they've said. And I do try to give the benefit of the doubt, but there's only so much doubt I have.
To be honest, women love abusers. They all chase around the same men and get the same results and then blame all men. I don't mind if women such as yourself want to get reamed, creamed, and ghost-steamed by Tyrone. Not a problem, you do you. I just don't want to have my sons' minds filled with misandrous vitriol about how they are rapists and abusers because they're men, because some post-wall woman is angry that chattiest Vladimir Thunderschlong III didn't settle down with her at the end of the CC.
So you're going to teach your sons that women love to be abused. What exactly do you think that will do to your son's attitudes about women? If you had bothered to watch the video, you would have noticed I said abuse is wrong, full stop, and abusers need to be held accountable. But I guess it's more fun to assume.
I will teach my sons how to get laid. They need to know that women prefer guys that can cheat, guys that don't treat them particularly well, and to show no deference to women at any time. I won't lie to them and tell them to pander to women because that simply doesn't work. I will explain to them why all of the women chase the bad boys and why being a good guy doesn't seem to get them any respect or any genuine desire from women. I won't frame it as women love to be abused, but I'm not going to pretend women don't like aggression. Hybristophilia is a female paraphilia, not a male one. I will arm my sons in the best way possible for them to get what they want and need in the world, and if that means they have to cast aside the belief they can have a relationship, so be it. In a world that has it out for them in the court system, I won't allow them to get too attached to childish notions of monogamous, long-term relationships. Women threw them out years ago.
So first, you don't have to show deference to anyone, but you should treat everyone with a basic courtesy. And I don't understand how he can say he's going to teach his sons not to treat women particularly well, but then also claim that he doesn't want his sons' minds to be filled with misandrous vitriol about how they're abusers because they're men, when he intends for them to become such. If you teach boys how to get laid, and that teaching includes good guys don't get women, how do you think they're going to treat women? And then he concludes with how the court system has it out for men. He is setting his sons up to fail on so many levels, and his hatred of women is blinding him.
Look at her. Single, cat lady, feminist type with no prospective suitors. SSM does a service to men and is fair to men and women in his channel. That service means her and her tribe are losing the ability to manipulate men and losing the ability to extract resources from men. By the way, the stories he posts are real-life stories from people who submitted to him or from Reddit and gives his input, unlike this loser channel that is an opinion piece. I doubt anyone in their right mind wants to end up like you, so I doubt they'll take your advice or opinion seriously. Shout out to SSM. She is doing men a service, letting younger guys know what they are signing up for if they get with women like this. We should be thankful that women hate when men have a voice, because you can expect the bigger the man's voice and influence, the bigger the level of misandry and attempt to destroy the man will be. Tate, anyone? Kudos, I agree. Social media is just a means where these pathetic women expose their misandry and lack of accountability. Men are learning a lot from them snitching on themselves. Shout out to their toxic need for attention.
I would really like to know what I said in that video that was misandrous. Won't anyone think of the poor men? They don't have a voice. I'm also confused. I thought I was some boss babe making 6 figures a year, but now I'm panicking because I soon won't be able to extract resources from men. Which is it?
Feminist cat lady is all I need to hear. That's exactly what I said, LOL. This lady must be very sad and lonely. Honestly, I think she would be more unhappy with a man.
This one just struck me as funny. More unhappy implies I'm unhappy now, which I think is something these folks like to tell themselves. It's unthinkable that a woman could be content, let alone happy, without a man to serve. But anyway, why would I be unhappy with a man? With the wrong man, I would be, but as I'm not afraid of being single, I wouldn't stay in that situation long. Make it make sense. The reason I object to channels like SSM's isn't because I'm afraid of women being called out. No one should be put on a pedestal, but because of the attitudes it encourages. It dehumanizes women, and that's dangerous. He claims his channel is about helping men improve their lives and reach their full potential, and that would be fine, great even. But 99 out of 100 videos are about women. And even if the subject isn't inherently bad, like, say, being polyamorous, it will be twisted, even if not by SSM himself, into something the woman is doing for selfish, underhanded reasons. And even on his second channel, which is supposed to be about the internet's craziest and most entertaining stories, guess who the star is? He's not revealing women's true nature. He's conditioning his audience to see women that way. And how is that helping men improve their lives and reach their full potential? And the notion that SSM is some sort of hero or real-life wise sage, he's literally just reading an article a woman wrote. That's what he does with all of his videos. He reads stories his subscribers sent in or that he found on the internet. And he doesn't make any surprising observations. He points out obviously bad behavior. And that is what made this comment so funny.
I'm noticing this new trend on Facebook where people with the new channel and hardly any subscribers, instead of building up with their own contact, they piggyback off of other successful channels and show their videos and talk about them. That's what's wrong with this country. Nobody wants to build something from the ground up. They want to steal someone else's success.
But in all seriousness, these comments are disturbing. Some aren't as bad as others, but they all reveal a profound lack of consideration for women as people and sometimes downright hatred. If someone came to me and said, "Hey Kit, that content creator you recommended, or Instagram account you're following, they have some really worrisome content," I would be shocked, look into it, apologize, and unfollow them. Mrs. Midwest, however, has a different approach.
Another, piece of tea that I'm just gonna unleash right here in the beginning of the video is that
Clever. Calling it tea makes it sound as though it's nothing. Just a bit of gossip and drama. We say things with nothing to back it up.
when you are a traditional homemaking Christian wife online,
That's good too. Add a few qualifiers so people can feel upset on your behalf. It's yet another attack on traditional, stay-at-home Christian wives.
you attract people who hate everything that you stand for.
While we're here, perhaps Mrs. Midwest would like to tell us what she stands for? No?
And they want to disparage you. They want to talk badly about you. They want to make up insane conspiracy theories about you and associate you with political movements from the 1930s and 40s.
We did not get here on our own. We associated Mrs. Midwest with those movements from the 1930s and 40s because of who she's associated herself with.
That it's just really disturbing and hurtful.
I did not hear a denial in all those words. I heard no, "Of course I don't believe in those ideals," or "I would never condone such things." Nope, it was disturbing and hurtful, but there was no statement about how it was wrong. Although,
And the slander was getting to be too stressful.
she did call it slander, but where is the counter? Where is the "I had no idea, I'm so sorry," or "You've misunderstood," or anything? If nothing else, I would at least unfollow the questionable accounts. I wouldn't keep following them and allow them to use my pictures for their propaganda. And her method does work. Nearly all the comments I've received from her videos are basically that I'm shaming her for being a stay-at-home mother or that I'm jealous she's beautiful. I think my favorite, though, might be this one.
God, what's wrong with you people? Leave her alone, even if you don't agree with her.
The "even if you don't agree with her" part makes me a bit curious as to what folks think we don't agree with her about. I don't know about everyone else who's made a video on Mrs. Midwest, but in the beginning, I watched her channel because I liked her content. But I can't and won't support her beliefs. And now that I have my own channel, I'm going to call out what I see.
This is where I disagree. I never thought that of her. I also want to mention I'm French and we really don't talk about red pill, I don't know the exact term, and white supremacy. It's not a common conversation in France. You think she is racist and homophobic because she's traditional and she's very white with blonde hair? I'm white with blonde hair and I respect everyone for who they are, no matter religion or sexual orientation. I'm friendly here, I just don't understand.
Now, this person wasn't hateful or anything like that. And I'm sure American nonsense can be confusing for people in other countries. But if people would watch the video, well, that's what Mrs. Midwest T was for. Her fans don't need to watch the video. They know anyone who makes a video on her is just jealous and upset that pretty Christian wives exist.
Honestly, all the critique regarding Mrs. Midwest are by women who are less attractive than her. She for sure has some odd views, but she is not overall a bad person, just miseducated. She is a very pretty girl, and I think you are a little envious, my dear.
Miseducated? She's lived in 2 countries and has a communications degree. But please do tell me what I'm envious of.
Miseducated does not mean one is not well-traveled or doesn't have a degree. Miseducated meaning the red pill content she consumes miseducates her regarding what empowerment is. I made that pretty clear in my comment, that's what I meant. I think you're jealous that she's pretty. You're not congenitally attractive and she is. You are jealous you don't look like her, basically.
So when looking at this again, to be clear, since those of us critiquing Mrs. Midwest aren't as pretty as she is, we should shut up and let her miseducate others without comment? Mrs. Midwest is a smart woman, and it does her a disservice to pretend otherwise. She knows what she's doing, and she's admitted it. And in fact, she's gotten more blatant over the past year, recommending Black Brittany Sellner on her blog. But nope, we're just jealous that she's pretty.
This video came up as recommended, and I honestly cannot believe that there is a video particularly calling out this girl. I watched her videos for years, and she's actually just someone who lives a quiet life who had a blog and decided to make videos as well. It's not like she tries to have a big following and cares solely on that. She just happens to have a big following because she's someone that some girls can relate to. A lot of her beliefs are based upon scripture and what it means to be a wife and mother, not society, and she's always said that. I don't think it's right to take her videos and to play them just to completely bash her in this video. If you don't like those views, maybe try the approach of making a list of current things you don't agree with and why, without calling names and pointing fingers. I don't know, but this is wrong and actually really sad. The world is trying to erase roles as man and woman, and those of us who choose to live this way are going to keep doing that, whether it's offensive to you or not. I don't even know what you mean by red pill, but I do know her videos aren't for you or others who disagree. Her videos are for her own following and those who relate to her, not to change your opinion.
And that is what it boils down to. They don't even know what red pill is, but Mrs. Midwest is so feminine, it can't be that bad. The meaning of the word bash must have changed in the past few years because I didn't say anything bad about Mrs. Midwest herself. What names did I call her? Or is pointing out her incredibly questionable follows and recommendations considered bashing and name calling? But the thing that really gets me is that these people are following her, they're defending her, and they have no idea what I'm even talking about. They just assume it can't be bad enough to warrant however many videos have been made about it. And she does make her videos to change people's opinions. She said it in her YogiOabs interview.
Because my message can be kind of like intense for some people, like the things I believe, I like to pad it with, skincare and like how I clean my house, you know?
I suppose she could be more forthcoming, but even if she outright said, I believe women are inferior to men, would that even make a difference to her fans? Content creators can't be held responsible for what their subscribers and fans do, but Mrs. Midwest purposely cultivates a big sister relationship and it seems to be working. Her fans become upset on her behalf when she's attacked. And no, I'm not shaming her because she chose a different life from me. At no point do I ever comment on her marriage, her children, her decision to be a stay-at-home mother. That is not what concerns me. And no, I'm not triggered by beautiful women or married women or women with children. In their haste to undermine what I'm actually saying, people come up with the most ridiculous things. But all this is an attempt to wave away the real issues under the guise of feminists are just jealous of feminine ladies in an effort to discourage thinking about why people would make videos about this seemingly harmless woman. And yes, she is free to live and believe as she wants. However, there is no part of feminism that says you must stand by and watch while a woman tries to convince other women that they're actually inferior to men and should be subservient to them. Perhaps if these folks actually bothered watching the videos they comment on, they would understand why the videos are made. But at least it's good for engagement. I guess now is a good time to mention that I've decided to donate my AdSense earnings to a different charity each time I get paid. The earnings threshold is $100, so I'm hoping to hit that quarterly. If you like, please note your favorite charities below. I'm leaning toward ACN for Q1 of 2023. Now that the unpleasantness is out of the way, I would like to thank the people that are here enjoying my videos. It really does mean a lot to me when I receive uplifting or thought-provoking comments, and I would especially like to thank my patrons. I truly never thought I would reach 1,000 subscribers, let alone have anyone who enjoyed my videos enough to become a patron. Thank you all so much, and cheers to the new year!